why don't you put your big man pants on? There's the police chief firing.
So,
fire.
As you
don't
know,
ask these ladies these ladies with skirts on to do a man's job.
Okay.
If you want to fire.
The vehicles that was leasing, is they paid off now, Mayor? Is they paid off in full, or are we still leasing them?
if they paid off,
You know, don't try to pay boo-boo the fool. I'm talking about we was leasing something from,
we was.
so were we leasing something from Enterprise?
You voted on it.
But is they paid off, or we still leasing?
You talking about the police?
Yeah, I'm asking if they paid off in full.
Do you understand what a lease is?
Now, you ain't even got to listen if you don't want to, but I'm going to tell you, you are sorry man. You haven't done nothing for Tarrant City, but bring us down.
And all this could have been avoided if the council had done what they were supposed to do when he was initially fired, when he was initially terminated, and also when the personnel board first sent it back.
They spent $8,500 for Halloween candy, and you talking about her going to learn something?
But because the mayor has such a thing against me, stop making it personal, Mayor. You should be leading by example. And I don't see you leading us nowhere. You ain't led us nowhere. The only review I can say I did was when I went around and told people to vote for you. That was the biggest mistake, and I went back and told them I made a mistake.
But you got to go. You are leaving that seat.
But you guys have created this two-headed monster. I think you probably
I'm
need
so
to.
sick of you saying you guys. You started it. Okay?
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, we're looking at the latest city council meeting from Tarrant, Alabama, which took place on February 3rd, 2025. Tarrant city council meetings are some of the most chaotic in the country, and this one was no exception. In the previous meeting, Mayor Wayman Newton and Councilman John Tommy Bryant got into a heated argument, with the mayor accusing Bryant of calling him the N-word with a hard R. I'm going to show you that clip in just a moment, but that's not the first time these two have clashed. After researching it, I found out that Bryant actually punched Mayor Newton during a past argument. He was arrested, but later found not guilty after the court ruled that Newton had provoked him with fighting words about his wife. I have found footage of this last altercation, and we're going to take a look at it right now before we look at this most recent city council meeting. Also, the major topic of debate and controversy during this most recent meeting is the fact that they have two fire chiefs, because the mayor fired one of the fire chiefs, but then the fire chief took the matter to court, and the courts ruled that they had to give him his job back, but they had already hired another fire chief. So they're going to end up having to give one of them their job back, and he gets paid without working. Now, without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
You ain't man enough to stand up to
Well,
me,
call me a boy again. Or better yet, why don't you call me like you've been calling me?
Wow, here we go, the racist again.
Come on.
We don't do it.
And you will do it, and I'm not backing down because I was put here for a reason. I was put here because of that. You've been doing this, terrorizing the city for 16 years with your old school brand of just bigotry and hatred. So I'm going to stall.
And just as advertised, here is the footage that I found of Councilman John Tommy Bryant hitting the mayor in the face right there. And for an old timer, he hit that guy pretty good. You see the mayor's down on his knees. I'm guessing this happened outside of City Hall, and this is the camera off of the building. It has no audio. It's going to zoom in, and we're going to see it again here. There's the mayor and councilman. They are arguing, and from what the court says, the mayor said something about doing something to the councilman's wife, and he was found not guilty. So this drama has carried over into these city council meetings. As you can see, he's being arrested right here, put in handcuffs.
I apologize for my tardiness. My daughter was in a tournament tonight. So is this the the settlement agreement, I guess, with Rickles.
It's 9250, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
And just make sure, because I heard a lot of things, is it, he's gonna continue to get paid, I guess, what, through 2026 and not have to show up for work?
That was supposed to be negotiated, that's what I understand.
That can, but first things first, so.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Brymer, I've got about 800 hours vacation. I don't over there. I'll start learning.
I'm not gonna offer that.
I'll learn the vacation until y'all can figure this out. Down to 320. I've got over 800 hours of vacation, so if that's what you feel, I'll just put me off on vacation until we come up with an agreement.
So basically, we have someone getting public funds, not showing up to work.
800 vacation hours is stuff you do, so I mean,
I don't
stuff
think.
I earn while being an employee here.
All of this would have been avoided if you only had affirmed my my decision. But hey, you guys make it difficult.
Let me make a statement about
You
that.
made it
If you
difficult.
had done
You
what
made it
you're supposed to do,
difficult.
like it's supposed to be done, this would never happen in the first place. This belongs to you, Mr. Mayor. And if you want to debate that, I will debate it with you.
Well, the statute says I can
I know what the
remove them.
statute says. The statute says that you can fire
Inform you.
the fire chief for any good reason, and at the next council meeting, you have to announce it to the council, which you did not
Which it
do.
was announced. You
And
were
then-
provided with the
There was no
press release.
resolution and we didn't vote on it.
And the
Well,
fire
Why
chief-
you
you
so
guys-
big on us voting the police
You
chief out?
guys chose not to
You did
do
not
anything.
that, and it also says you cannot fire the fire chief permanently, and you made a statement in a work session that Chief Rickles was never gonna come back to work, because you fired him permanently, which all four of those are against the laws of the state of Alabama. So it all belongs to you, not to the
Well, I
council.
find
It
it
belongs to you.
I find it interesting that when it went to the personnel board, and he filed his appeal, the personnel board actually affirmed the termination.
I
And it was only until after you guys, nearly 2 years after the fact, you went down to the personnel board and asked them to send it back to you,
No, that's-
did all this become an
There's a
issue.
there's a whole lot to that you're not telling the people out here. And the other thing is, if you want to debate this when we've got time, right now is not a good time to do it, we'll debate it. But now it's not a good time, but I will prove you wrong on everything you said. You also said I always tell the truth, that's not true either.
Well, you guys do what you do, but you're gonna run into some problems, basically paying somebody, to work a public job and not having them show up to work. And the idea of having two co-chiefs is problematic because you have one chief that actually has to work, another chief that doesn't have to work, and they're still getting paid. I would suspect that the chief that's actually working, he's probably gonna have a cause of action against the city as well. So. This is your problem, so I'll let you guys figure that out.
Yeah, it's our problem now, but it was caused by you and the personnel board.
So me and the personnel board, so now it's the personnel board's fault now?
You fired him, the personnel board upheld your firing.
Yeah.
That's the reason we put Chief Bennett in the place that he's in.
But the appeal process is still not over, district court did not affirm it, so anybody could have called me before that, the appeal was not over, they had not personnel board, it was just county district court.
Well,
So y'all acted before the appeal process was over.
if the personnel board actually affirmed his termination, then you would think that the council would have actually affirmed the termination as well, but that's neither here nor there. Again, like I said, this is,
You're 100% wrong. If anybody wants to know the truth about it, I will gladly meet with them and tell them what the facts are. And yes, the personnel board was right. you have the right to fire. You had the right to fire him for any good reason. You thought it was a good reason. You had the right to fire him. That part was right. The wrong part is at the next council meeting, you have to announce it by law. You did not do that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're wrong 100% on everything else.
So when you tried to introduce the resolution to bring it back, Councilor Bryant, I specifically remember it was tabled. So why didn't the council basically bring them back then?
I gave up. They was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and they didn't want to stop making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to do that.
Okay, so like I said,
You know, like you
this is a
said,
problem that's been created by the council, and I'm
No,
gonna let you
created by
guys
you.
figure it out.
It was
So,
created by you, and we have to try to take care of it.
So who's gonna introduce resolution 9250?
I will.
And who's gonna second it?
I will.
All right. So now that they're gonna bring them back, I think that I think we owe it to the department, to give some, direction as to how things are supposed to operate. Since you guys have created this two-headed monster, I think you probably
I'm
need
so
to.
sick of you saying you guys. You started it. Okay? We didn't know he was fired until the next day when we saw it on the news.
So
And that was because of you.
you need to give the fire department some direction as to how they're to operate. And I just received a text message from accounting saying that paying 2 fire chiefs is not going to be economically feasible for the city. So
I'd like to see that text message if you don't mind.
You passed a resolution that our department head is supposed to be here.
Do you mind showing that text message to one of the council members
no,
so
I'm
they
not
can
doing
verify it?
that.
Since it's
Allow-
6:35.
Tommy, as long as that resolution was passed, the department head is supposed to be present to answer any questions, not do a text message, them standing for the council as well as the citizens. But because the mayor has such a thing against me, stop making it personal, Mayor. You should be leading by example. And I don't see you leading us nowhere. You ain't led us nowhere. The only review I can say I did was when I went around and told people to vote for you. That was the biggest mistake, and I went back and told them I made a mistake. I was wrong, and I apologize. But if you choose, and the council choose to go along with this, I gotta respect that. But one thing about it, you cannot stop me. You may stop me from going, being a part of stuff that I earned to get us a seat at the table. But one thing you cannot do, you will not destroy me. Because it's like this, I'm going forward, with or without. You know, like I say, and I'm gonna be finished with. Let the work that I've done speak for me. Let it speak for me. What have you done for the city? Except get all these freaking lawsuits, and you got the people thinking that it's the council fault. No, it's not. No, it's not. And you quick to go and say something that you cannot back up. When you made that statement that about we had something to do with a video got released, do you not realize that's slander? That's slander. You ought to be tired of getting these lawsuits. You know, and like you said, things that I said about you. Why don't you sue me for slander? Sue me. You quick to tell people to sue me.
Your
So
judgment
sue me.
proof.
What's that?
Your judgment proof. So
My judgment what?
never mind.
No, it's like this. See, the thing is, you can sit there and say, but like Tip, it's gonna all, we're all gonna come out in the wash. We'll come out in the rinse.
This is interesting. Police Chief Major gets up to the podium and the mayor brings up the topic of one of the new police officers stealing $3,000 on a recent traffic stop. And the police chief gaslights the mayor and changes the subject and then proceeds to brag on his police officers and expect everybody to lick their boots.
I guess the gentleman that he came and made a formal complaint down at the police department about an officer. He said that he had $8,000 that was taken from him, but he only received $5,000 back. So he actually came to City Hall. I spoke with him and I just directed him to go to the lead. So I was just making you aware.
That was the one that was investigated by Aaliyah some time ago.
No.
This is another one?
This is your new hire.
We'll find out. I think you're talking about the seizure of the $4,000 at the end.
No, this was a stop that was made on, I believe, Highway 79. They took the guy in. The guy said that he had $8,000 on him, but he only received $5,000 back. So
there was a seizure of some marijuana and some drugs and money, and that officer is seeking a condemnation of that money through the district court. Have to speak with the district attorney about that. If it's not the same one, it may not be the same.
This happened last week.
We'll look at that. All right. I wanted to point out about these two incidents. These two incidents while people discharging firearms within the city limit. As you are aware, there have been a number of complaints by citizens about that. Our officers pay attention to what you all say, what the citizens say when they complain about it. And they took it on their own, not any credit to me. These officers went above board to locate it.
Mr. Mayor, Alabama law says that you can fire police chief for any good reason. Obviously, you have a good reason that you think. All right, I want you to put your big man pants on. There's the police chief fired. You
So,
can't fire.
as you
Don't
know-
ask these ladies at least ladies with skirts on, to do a man's job.
Okay.
If you want to fire, fire.
As you know, there's a
When
current
you
case
fire-
before the Alabama Supreme Court. That was a lower case that said that you are the appointing authority and that you can fire him, that I don't have the authority to do that. So that's why I've been including this so you
So
can
you're
do
saying
your
that
job. and
You
vote
agree that you do not have the authority to fire, right?
at this point.
Okay, all right. Is it not true that one of the individuals that had filed a complaint against you for sexual harassment has withdrawn that complaint?
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, okay. Can you give other reasons why you should not be fired?
I believe I've been performing the job as you expected. I told you when I took the job, I would enforce the law without fear or favor. I do not care about personal money. That's not my goal here. My job has been, since I've taken the job of a law enforcement officer, that I would uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Alabama, and I would enforce its laws without fear or favor. I do not care about personal grandiosity. You can say what you want about me, but we will enforce the law. We will supervise the officers that I am charged with the responsibility of supervising, that they follow the law. And we will do that no matter who, no matter what, and no matter when. And if you continue me as your chief of police, I will continue to do that and exercise the judgment as I understand it. And I will always obey the orders of the court.
Thank you, Chief. I'd like to introduce Resolution 9250, a resolution to reinstate Jason Rickles to Fire Chief of the City of Tarrant Fire Department and directing all back pay and benefits pursuant to the Personnel Board of Jefferson County, order dated November 7th, 2024. I move for the adoption of Resolution 9250.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness? Again, all this could have been avoided if the council had done what they were supposed to do when he was initially fired, when he was initially terminated, and also when the personnel board first sent it back. They sent it back because the council had requested, they wanted to vote on affirming or not affirming his termination. And so again, because they chose not to do anything, this is what you get, so.
My intention to pivot from what I usually do, but I will say that it's real rich that the mayor would make a statement about Chief Rickles about respecting women been so many stories about what he's done. That's all I'll say about that. You know, they always say that if you tell a lie enough, people will believe it. And that's what the mayor's done about this situation with Chief Bennett. You know, there's rules that are set down for the way that this has to be handled, and it didn't happen that way. You know, so I'm not saying, you know, I don't know Chief Bennett that well. I know that my son's had dealings with him. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but he deserves to be treated fairly, and anybody else that was put in his position would expect to be treated that way also. And, you know, what is this man going to do? Is he going to not work a job for the entire period that he's been, quote, terminated? You know, he's made y'all an offer. I think that, you know, that should be considered, and I agree with the firefighters. You know, they don't like uncertainty. You know, let's deal with this and get it over with where everybody can be in agreement. You know, I've spoken to several people about all these lawsuits. You know, everybody makes an issue about the money and the lawsuits and everything. And I know that Ms. Matthews made a statement about there were 15 lawsuits against the city, but I've talked to somebody that told me that there are a lot more than 15 lawsuits, somewhere approaching 40 lawsuits. May not be as serious as Chief Ripples or the police officers, but they're lawsuits that have the mayor's fingerprints all over them. They're directed at him. And Mr. Brimer, can you can't,
I'm not going to discuss any.
I mean, can you confirm that there's a lot more lawsuits than 15 or 18?
I don't know the number off the top of the circulated.
Can we safely say it's more than 20?
I don't think we can safely say anything, because I don't know off the top of the
I'm not going to press you any further than that. You know, but that's what I'm getting at, is that, you know, people, the mayor has not been a good steward of the city's money, and all of this revolves around him. And so he can blame the city council all he wants to, but the point is, they didn't create this problem with Chief Ripple. They didn't create a lot of the problems. They've tried to deal with them, and that's what they're trying to do right now. And with that, I didn't say anything bad about the mayor's character or anything. I think I'll just leave that open. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll want to just put this disclaimer out there for citizens. Chuck Winborn, April 24th, 2015. This is a Facebook post. He has the Confederate flag, and this is what he says. Proud to be from Alabama. Proud of my Confederate heritage. Proud of my Confederate great-great-grandfather. If you think it's an embarrassment, then don't come here. They can have Cinco de Mayo and Black History Month, any number of black-only days and recognitions, but for us to celebrate our heritage, it's racist. I'm not sorry, and I don't care. The Civil War was not about slavery. Rest in peace, James Josiah Harrison Brown. So take that, you know, what he said with a grain of salt. So
You testified in court, so.
Who's next?
novelty.
Council members have any knowledge where the money has gone? Do you all know? The citizens of Tarrant don't even know. Ms. Freeman, Ms. Fairford, you said that you was going to do a forensic audit. Have that been done?
We have not reached out.
The reason why I'm here today is because I'm tired of Tarrant being a junk yard. You go down through these alleys, you go on the streets, nothing has been done in 5 years that you all been seen here. Nothing. We don't even have a good street to ride down. I ride around town all the time. Go through the alleys. If you call to see could they pick up the trash, we can't get an answer. Why? Where is the money? I'm still asking, where is the money? Tell me, somebody.
All I can tell you is I'm on the check.
I'm not talking about no checks you don't sign. I'm talking about
There's invoices
what
with,
have
I mean,
y'all done with the
there's
money.
backup of each of these checks that I signed.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
Well, I
talking
don't
about
know.
the checks that y'all signed. Do you know what they for? Yes.
There's
Uh-huh.
invoices.
You know what they for?
Yes.
Do you question why?
Sometimes.
Some of them. Where is the money?
Can I?
I'm still asking.
Mayor Newton, I have a question.
He can tell you.
No, but
About
that's
where
another
you
person. I'm
can't
talking about
go.
a check.
You
I'm talking
spent $8,500 for Halloween candy, and you talking about her going to learn something? You
The
give me a
entire
headache.
event, the
You
entire
know that?
event cost $8,500.
Yes,
We didn't
it
spend
was
$8,000 on candy. Probably spent
$8,500.
about $3,500,
No,
$3,800 on candy.
no. I was here when you voted. So where is it? Why can't they get the receipts? Why can't the citizens of Tarrant know where their money is going? It's not on the streets. The streets, I'm tired of driving down Tarrant and you got holes. Buildings not being torn down, houses not being torn down. Man, you ain't even got to listen if you don't want to, but I'm gonna tell you, you are sorry man. You haven't done nothing for Tarrant City, but bring us down. But you can do what you want to do. So you can go ahead and play on your phone, but you got to go. You are leaving that seat. And that's all I got to say for y'all. But y'all need to know where the money going. The citizens have a right to know. Where is the money? Y'all want to let him be in control? That's all I got to say for y'all.
I have a question, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I got the question to ask the mayor.
I just want to say, just for the record, I was on checks back in 2021. They took me off the check, so I don't sign
So you're
checks. I
putting
don't
this on
pay.
the council again?
I'm putting it on the council
Yes,
because the council
that's
is
like
taking
it did
over
for
all the
Chief
money.
Like
So,
that. Rickles.
We haven't taken over
So
all
if
of
there's-
the signed
so
checks.
if there's any misappropriation, any money that was spent on something that had no business
Where
spending,
is-
then
let me ask you
that's
this,
Councilor
Mayor.
Anderson and Councilor
Where is
Frederick
the-
because they
where is
signed
the-
off on the checks.
Where is the?
Well, your
sign off on
department
anything
or
that
somebody
does not
sends
have
every
an
one of these
invoice.
invoices for us to sign.
We don't sign off on anything that doesn't have an invoice. And I know Chief Bennett has, dug into some things for me when I asked you about, I think it was some of
Well,
the,
could I ask y'all something? Where is
the
the
drug
invoice?
tests and stuff, yeah. I don't just willy-nilly sign, I will ask questions.
Where is the infrastructure money? Do y'all know what that is?
We don't sign checks off of that. I ain't
Wait,
saying
what did
anything.
y'all do with it?
I said nothing to my knowledge.
This was my
Nobody have
suggestion.
an answer for that? Man, you got an answer for that?
Well, let me
They rolled it over into the general fund.
But
That was done
Do y'all know he
about a
rolled
month
it
ago.
over?
I didn't roll it over. They introduced the resolution and they voted on it.
But the thing
Did
is,
y'all vote on that, Tracy?
We voted on it
You
because we
did.
didn't want to lose.
But when you gonna do the audit?
I'll have to give Mr. Brown.
You made that statement in city council that you was gonna do an audit. And I've been looking, waiting to see when it's gonna be done.
We'll need to find somebody.
Because the citizen parents is tired. We are tired.
can I say something concerning
Yes.
that money? If I recall correctly, in a meeting, we had been talking about infrastructure, the money. And, we had mentioned something about doing something about infrastructure and repairing the road.
When?
No, we talked about it. And when
You
they
talked
put it
about it,
into,
but you hadn't moved
no,
on yet.
but the thing was, let me tell you what happened, in my opinion. I can't prove it because I don't know, you don't tell me nothing. Well, to my understanding, he said that, they used it for paying for those vehicles that the city of Tarrant was leasing Yeah, you remember? Yeah, you said that. He said,
Say that
you
again,
remember,
Ms.
he
Freeman.
said something about paying for those vehicles that we were
Say that
leasing.
again, Ms. Freeman.
I said, to my understanding, the vehicles that was leasing, is they paid off now, Mayor? Is they paid off in full, or are we still leasing them? You know, don't try to pay boo-boo the fool. I'm talking about we was leasing something from,
We was,
so were we leasing something from Enterprise?
you voted on it.
But is they paid off, or we still leasing?
You talking about the police?
Yeah, I'm asking, is they paid off in full?
Do you understand what a lease is?
Do you understand my question, Mayor?
I wanna know.
The question is, you know what, you wanna avoid something. Hold on. This is my question.
Police cars.
He wasn't involved.
He wasn't involved with that. I just wanted to ask
We
him.
talked about it, I thought it was a good idea. I'm not-
Yeah,
He
And
was
we got
on
the
leave.
cars all but one of them. When we get the cars, we're
But
using them.
every time we asked him for something, he said that Lisa Baker and the accountant was working on giving us the documentation. And I got a question, Mayor. You just said something about Kathy and Tracy signing checks. The council voted on neighborhood watch signs, the bigger ones. The only one I've seen, the majority of them is the small ones. So where's the large ones that we voted on?
You came and got them.
No, correction, you're sick, they got them back. So I got a video, babe, that where they came back and they got the large signs. So my question is, why did, at first you didn't have no small neighborhood signs, but now they're everywhere. So my question is to you, what happened to the large signs that the council voted on? I know I got one in front of my house and at the bottom of the hill. So is it a possibility that you might have snuck in those small signs?
Let me clear this up right now. Only thing I want to know from the council and the mayor, where is the money?
I don't know.
That's all I want to know. Where is it? Where is it?
Well, I've been removed from all
Can't
money,
back
so
out
that's
home.
been,
Where is the money?
Well, I guess we need an accounting of it.
Expect the fine Kathy.
So the accountant needs to give us an accounting of what's in the account.
When that gonna be? When can I get that? Because as a citizen of Tarrant, which I've been talking to around this town, nobody knows nothing.
But Ms. Williams, when we asked the mayor, he said to us that he was waiting to get some documentation from Lisa Baker and the accountant concerning that money. Now, I can go I can go back and look through my notes to see what they said. They still?
no, because I don't remember saying that.
Where is the COVID money?
I never saying that.
So nobody knows. Nobody know where the money is. Don't you think it's time for you, Tracy, to get this audit going? I am dead serious.
Where are we on our audits?
We need to know,
2022. We 2 years.
and that's all I gotta say at this moment.